Qasem Soleimani was the leader of Iran's external operations for more than 20 years. Throughout this period, he really helped transform the face of the Middle East. The fact of the matter is that the Iranian regime followed policies that invested in the region being more unstable. In short, if I want to say, the policies of Soleimani helped create a close alliance between several militias in the region and the Iranian state. They were bad for Iran, they were bad for Iranian national interest, and they were definitely bad for the interests of the people of the region. In Iraq, they undermined the Iraqi sovereignty by supporting militia groups that acted against the Iraqi security forces and Iraqi national government, which is why in Prime Minister Mustafa Kadhimi, we have someone who has really tried to oppose this overweening influence of Iran. In Lebanon, they backed Hezbollah, the party that was founded from Iran many years ago, but it continued to back them. And really also undermine the sovereignty of Lebanon and threaten the interest of the people of Lebanon by backing a Hezbollah and also groups in Palestine in a confrontation with Israel that is against peace and that doesn't really help the interest of the region and hasn't really helped the Palestinian people either. It hasn't led to any better news for the Palestinians. And finally, and most destructively, of course, in Syria, Soleimani helped back the Assad regime. It was one of the main factors that allowed it to kill hundreds of thousands of his own people in the freedom uprising that they had in Syria at the expense of trying to solidify a regional alliance or regional axis, as they like to call it, for Iran. So the result of Soleimani's policies have been breaking down of relations of Iran with much of its neighbors and undermining sovereignty of several countries and drenching popular mass movements in blood from Iraq to Syria to other countries. It has been a negative track record, however you look at it, in my opinion. It has now 2 years passed since Soleimani was killed by a US drone. I think in these 2 years, we can clearly see that the IRGC has not been able to fill his shoes. His replacement, Ismail Qaani, lacks his charisma, his command of Arabic, the personal relationship that Soleimani had with Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, and with the Iraqi Shia militia leaders. And of course, it hasn't also helped. There are other factors, including the mass movements in Iraq and Lebanon against the Iranian influence and for sovereignty of these countries, and also Iran's continuing economic crisis, which means it cannot be as generous with its allies in the region as it was before. So I think when we add these factors to lack of Soleimani's really unique abilities and capabilities, we can say that, yes, for sure, his absence has definitely affected IRGC's capabilities in the region, and it has weakened it. Although one has to remember, of course, that they continue to be, so long as Iran spends billions of dollars and puts the efforts of an entire nation state behind these interventions, they continue to have a force. But certainly Soleimani is someone that they are truly missing now.